The people, the headlines, the issues impacting you, all on This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
Welcome back. Boone County is one of the fastest growing areas of the tri-state. The census says that between 2010 and 2017, its population surged by nearly 10%. That means new families and new students for Boone County schools. And in many cases, those families aren't just new to the tri-state, they're new to the United States. With that in mind, Boone County Schools created a new program to help those students get the best possible start in their new homeland. We have a clip here from a video the district made to explain its approach.
Every one of us has experienced being a newcomer somewhere at some point in our lives. Remember the feelings of, will I be liked? Will I be accepted? The challenges for newcomers immigrating to the U.S. are intensified when they do not know our language, our customs, and American culture.
Because Boone County Schools and Newcomer Middle School is a community, it's important that our students believe that they are part of the community and that they're included in everything that we do and believe in Newcomer Middle School, which is inclusion and diversity.
I speak 4 languages right now. I speak Polar, Wolof, French, and English. I always translate for Amadou because he doesn't speak English very well, and I help to translate.
Joining us now to talk more about it is Dr. Janine Delahunty, the program's English Learner Academy coordinator. I want to thank you for joining us on This Week in Cincinnati.
My pleasure.
And if I'm sitting at home, I'm wondering, does this replace English as a second language?
Not at all. We still have that as a service for our students, but this creates a small program with intensive English instruction at a much slower pace, which our students need initially.
When you say a small classroom setting, how many students are we talking in each classroom?
Well, this is a pilot program, so
Okay.
right now we have a 12-to-1 ratio of students. We could be putting 65 students into this class. That's what we have right now enrolled that would fit the criteria. So we wanted to roll it out slowly, make sure that we covered all of our gaps and deficits, and then we're going to roll it out district-wide.
12-to-1, but there are multiple languages we're talking about in that 12-to-1
Yes.
ratio. So how do you bridge that gap?
Well, you won't believe how universal language can be. Our teachers are very well skilled at using gestures. It's almost like charades. We make things simplified, but we don't dumb down our expectations. And so we just explain and over-explain and paraphrase until our students learn what they need to.
Why is it so important to have lessons in culture for these kids?
Well, these are students that are assimilating into a new culture. For example, when I moved here in '92 from South Africa, I knew English, but I knew nothing about American culture. And that was the year that Wayne's World came out in the movie theaters.
Okay.
And talk about culture shock, being in a high school as an 18-year-old and not knowing what people were referencing. Just simple things like that. So we're getting students accustomed to school, a U.S. school setting, plus what is the world around them. And we're wanting them to become global citizens, just like all of our students in Boone County Schools.
I watched your video, and it even suggested that there was a student who came in every day with a different idiomatic expression.
Yes.
To understand it.
Right.
We take that for granted.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So why is it key that these students be given the best possible chance at success?
These students are so resilient, what they have been through in their homelands to get here, their backstories. They really want to thrive, and they're motivated to learn like no other set of students that I've ever been encountered with. So these students need to have the most safe and secure structure to begin with as they transition into the program. So the Newcomer Academy provides a transition. It's only a year long, but what we provide them is social support, emotional support, as well as academic support. So when they transition back to their home school, they can thrive and see college and career really as a future for them.
So it's a safe haven, really.
Absolutely.
Okay. And have you had interest from other school districts in terms of incorporating this into their programs?
Sure. We would love to be able to offer this as a regional program. The closest to us is Jefferson County and Fayette County, and they have great models. This is the only thing in Northern Kentucky area, and we'd be definitely open to having Kenton County and the other larger counties joining forces with us because we're all experiencing the same growth.
We talk about spreading district to district to district, but also when you take a student, are you also educating that student's family.
Absolutely.
Can you explain that?
So we have students coming in with siblings, 3, 4, 5 siblings that live together and all have the same hopes and dreams. They all want to become American. They all want to become global citizens and contribute to the society that they live in. So we bring in their siblings, we bring in their families, we provide educational support. One of our biggest partners is the Boone County Extension Office, and one of their missions really is to reach the underserved population. So we look at kitchen experiences, cooking food, growing food, doing things together as a family, because these units are very strong and the family is all they have when they first move over here. So we want to make sure we provide for all of them.
The family is all they have when they first move over here. That's really a stunning observation. It really is a make it or break it point for these children, isn't it?
Right, and we want to be that extended family. We don't want to just educate the child and send them home. We want to embrace them as part of us because we value their diversity so much. We don't really look at the language as a barrier. They're assets. That one student who speaks 4 languages and could go on to become an interpreter, they have so much to give us as we have to give them.
So bring them into the fold is what you're saying.
Yes.
You have a number of different pie charts. What do those say?
So we have so many students coming in. Our demographics in Boone County has changed over the last 5 years. We used to have the majority Spanish speaking and then Japanese because of our associations with business. But because of our recent demographic change, we now have Spanish, Somali, French, Arabic, and then Japanese as our top 5 languages.
Could you extrapolate that out to the rest of the tri-state area and say that most school districts are seeing that as well?
Definitely. Year to year, we see an increase of enrollment of different ethnic groups. And this year, the past 2 years, is ethnic groups from the Congo. And so our French-speaking students have almost doubled in number.
Oh my goodness. So it really is a justification for the spread of this particular program.
Absolutely. And they're coming in at all grade levels, K through 12. It's not just middle school and high school. However, the students coming in at the middle and high school level are coming in with significant skill gaps. So we actually call them SLIFE students, students with limited or interrupted formal education. So if you can imagine a 16 or 17-year-old who has never used a scissors or who has never operated a mouse on a computer, or cannot count to 100. And there's a good reason for that. So in a cultural experience, and if I can explain this, if you have never had to sort buttons or beads, or you never had to count the steps going up to your apartment because you don't live on steps, you don't naturally count as a culture. And so we have cultures coming in who don't know how to count to 100 because they've never had to do that before.
Yeah. But you're helping bridge the gap.
Absolutely.
Thank you for being here to explain how your program works. We'd love to check back in with you.
Thank you.